सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अर्यातीतरसीवर धगवारिस गुगैल அறிவாயிரமி பரமாத்துமன் அருணாச்சல ரமணன் பரிவாழ்வுளம் முருகானல பரனார்ந்திடு குகையார்ந்து அறிவாம் விழித்திரவாய் நிசம் அறிவாய் அது வெளியாம் அண்ணாமலையாய் அடியேனை ஆண்ட அன்றே ஆவியுடல் கொண்டாயனக்கோர் குறையுண்டோ குறையும் குணமும் நீயல்லால் என்னேனிவற்றை என் உயிரே எண்ணம் எதுவோ அது செய்வாய் கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையில் காதற் பெருக்கே தருவாயே கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையில் காதற் பெருக்கே தருவாயே. ஓம் அதிமதுரசாபஹஸ்தாம் அபரிமிதாம் மோதபான சௌபாக்யாம் அருணாம் அதிசய கருணாம் அபிநவ குலசுந்தரீம் வந்தே. ஓம் ஐம் ஹ்ரீம் ஸ்ரீம். Now we shall chant Gita Dhyana Shloka. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrutavarshini Bhagavati Ashtadashadhyayini Ambhatvam Anusandhadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullarabindhayatapatra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradhipaha Prapanna Parijadaya Thotra Vetraikapanaye Jnana Mudraya Krishnaya Gitamrutaduhe Namaha. Sarvopanishadho Gavo Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsasudhir Bhokta Dukdham Gitamrutam Mahat Vasudhe Vasutam Devam Kamsa Chanooramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. This samsara vriksha, we do not know when it began and when it will end. It is as if beginningless and endless. It ties us down to karma and into this samsara only. So this has to be cut asunder. So how it can be cut asunder? Asanga shastrena dridhena chitva. So it has to be cut by the sword of detachment, dispassion. So Shankara pointed out 3 eshanas: vitteshana, putreshana, lokeshana. Vitteshana means wanting more and more wealth, prosperity in the world. So when you are so obsessed about that, then you cannot cut us under this tree of samsara. More and more desires. Is that not so? Then putreshana, longing for progeny. And not only progeny, it is sort of extending one's own legacy. Meaning what? We consider ourselves to be this ego self, and then we think this has to be continued. So all those things. And lokeshana means we want to stand up to the standards of the society. All those stuff. When only we give up all these ishanas, obsessions, then we can cut us under the tree of samsara. And after that, what you should do? Tataha tat parimargitavyam. It is said, after that, we have to seek the highest, that is the supreme truth. Tatapadam tat parimargitavyam. Yasmin gata na nivartanti bhuyaha. Having reached where you don't come back again. That supreme we have to seek, and we have to try, we should try to reach. For that, tameva chadhyam purusham prabadhye, I surrender unto that adhya purusham, that purusha who was there even before creation, adhyam purusham prabadhye, yata pravritti prasiddha purani, from whom everything has come out. All this creation has come out. That purusha, I surrender unto him. So with this attitude, we have to know the truth. We have to strive for knowing the truth. Natat bhasa, and then we have to develop all these qualities. Nirmana moha, jidasanga dosha, adhyatma nitya, vinivritta kamaha, dvandvair vimuktaha, sukha dukkha samyehi, kachanti amudaha, padam avyayam tat. So such a person will go to that supreme padam, where natat bhasayate suryaha, where the sun cannot shine, the moon cannot shine, the fire cannot shine. Why? Because of which the sun shines. But with the sun's light, this cannot shine. Yad ghatva na nivartante. Having reached there, there is no coming back. So that is the param dhama. Bhagavan says it is mama dhama. Param, supreme dhama. There you have to reach. From where you will not come back. But as a jiva, if I enter with the body mind, then it is only going and coming and suffering. Who is this jiva? Bhagavan says, mama eva amshaha jiva bhutaha. He is my own amsha. He is my own part, avayava, as if that word is very important, as if. It's not true because he cannot become anything, but because of the ignorance we feel, he is expressing as jiva, identified with the body mind. Manashashtani indriyani prakrutistani karshati, and he remains in the prakriti, and then he operates through the senses and the mind. Akarshati, he gathers mind and the senses, and then he operates. So while leaving the body, what he does? He collects all the senses and the mind, and then he goes. And then when he takes the new body, he spreads once again everything. And there he lives, and then he enjoys. Through the senses and mind, he experiences the world of objects, emotions and thoughts. This is how the jiva comes and goes. Is that not so? So as long as the desires are there, the vasanadis, then pokkum varavum, punarvum, அதுதான் நம்முடைய நிலை. But Bhagavan யாரு? போக்கும் வரவும் புணர்வுமிலா புண்ணியன். He has nowhere to go, nowhere to come. And he is Sakshi Matram. He is not involved in anything. But as a jiva, we always go and come and involve with everything and get hit. அப்புறமும் நமக்கு புத்தி வராது. That is the thing. So, till this point we have seen Shrotra Chakshu Sparshanam cha Rasanam Granam eva cha Adhishtaya Manaschayam Vishayanu Upasevate. So, residing in the five senses and the mind, presiding over all these senses and the mind, he only Vishayan Upasevate. In this world, he contacts the sense objects and then he enjoys. And he also accumulates more and more vasanas. For the vasana, he has to again do such karmas. And then again he has to enjoy or suffer. And once again, it's a vicious circle. And here the point is, even though you live with him all throughout your life, even though you go along with him, come back, still you don't know him. What a strange thing. See, sometimes we wonder, our own children, we are unable to understand them. I don't understand you. Forget about children, we don't understand ourselves. Is that not so? We don't understand ourselves also. Why we are like this? We don't know. Svabhavastu pravartante. Then it is said, according to Svabhava we live. Even though we know what is what, very clear, but still the moods, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, all the moods operate in us, and accordingly only we live. See? If the Sattva-guna operates, then when the Vasana also, when they express, we are able to see and remain apart. But Rajoguna expresses means we don't remember anything, we just get carried away. Is that not so? And when Tamoguna expresses, we don't know what's happening also. So this jiva is a fascinating thing. See, this world is not very fascinating. And God, you know what, I don't know why they talk about God. Yeah, okay, let him be there wherever he is. But this person is very fascinating. And we are all concerned about only this person, not about anybody else. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Even we seek God for our sake only, not for God's sake. For God's sake. They say, na? So here, Utkramantam stitham vapi Bunjanam vagunanvitam Vimudhananu pashyanti Pashyanti jnana chakshushaha Utkramantam stitham vapi Bunjanam vagunanvitam Vimudhananu pashyanti Pashyanti jnana chakshushaha Utkramantam. Utkramantam means he leaves the body. Meaning parityajantam deham purvopatam. So giving up the old body, he goes away. Utkramantam. So he is talking about ourselves only. This jiva, myself, After everything is done with this body is given up and he goes. Sthitam va, while living in this deha also, dehe tishtantam. He remains in this deha also, we know we live with him only. Or we are the jiva who are living. Bunjanam va, and he is only enjoying. Shabdadin cha upalabhamanam. All the Shabda Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, all the objects he is only enjoying. Gunanvitam. Sukha dukkha mohakyehi gunaihi anvitam anugadam samyuktam ityartaha. He is only attached to the gunas. Swayed by the three gunas, by the moods, everything. Evam bhutamapi yenam atyanta darshana gocharam praptam vimudaha na anupashyanti. Even though he is so close to us, in fact, our own self, we are living with ourselves and we are enjoying or suffering and we are attached and we talk about ourselves all the time, still na anupashyanti. We don't know him. What a sad thing. Why we don't know him? He says, Drishta adrishta vishaya bhoga balakrishta chetaha tayaha anekada muda na anupashyanti. Because his mind is always involved in enjoying. Drishta adrishta. What he is seeing in this world and what he is hearing also. Somewhere it is there. Come, we can go and enjoy. Adrishta. So his mind is so preoccupied, so clouded with bhoga buddhi, with enjoyment. So even though he is so close, he is one's own, he is unable to see him. Na anupashyanti. So when the mind is very gross, always extrovert, see, either we are indulging or we are worried always about mundane things, about this, about that. I always remember this, our Acharya's words. We create, we get attached, we suffer. We only create. Is that not so? Like Bhagavan, we also think, why am I alone? Why can't I become many? Meaning, we get married and we beget children. And we, with so much of expectation, we look forward. And afterwards, for the next 20-25 years, we go and come, we do everything for the children. And we constantly worry about them. What will happen to them? What will happen to them? No. Other children, I don't worry about other children. My own children only I worry about. Why? My own children. Let them worry about their children. I will worry about mine. So we have to worry about something. So, even though this fellow is there, enjoying, suffering, and peculiarly behaving, still we don't care to understand who he is, what he is, why he is suffering. Is that not very strange? Na anupashyanti mudaha. The fools, they don't see him. Ana anupashyanti. And here Shankara says, Aho kashtam vartate iti anukroshati cha Bhagavan. Bhagavan Shri Krishna, he says, Yo Rama, what a thing. With so much of compassion, see, anukroshati cha Bhagavan. With so much of compassion, Bhagavan says, alas, even though he is always there, doing and enjoying, but these people don't know him. The Vedanta Shastra says, you have to know yourself. Is that not so? Yourself means my own self. We should know. Now only we know very superficial self. That too we take things for granted. The body, mind, I am. That also we don't think body, mind, I am. We just go on. காலைல எழுந்திருந்தாச்சுன்னா உடனே ஓடணும், ஆஃபீஸில் போய் ஏதோ வேலை பார்க்கணும், something. Then you come back and entertainment, and then partying, and then browsing, and then you have set some goals. I have to reach there, and you work, and then buy things, build, this, that. So you go like that. Then comes Christmas, then comes Diwali, now Valentine's Day, this day, that day. So go and celebrate. சும்மா அவன் பிஸ்னஸ் பண்ணுங்கிறதுக்கு என்னென்னமோ செஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கான் அவன். We also fall for that and we say, this day only you should present, you should say I love you. Then only there is love. Otherwise there is no love. So many things, we are so engrossed in these worldly things and so worried about mundane things, and we don't care to pause and watch and introspect. Who am I? What's happening to him? What's happening to me? Why I am like this? Where am I going? What am I doing? What will be my gati? கருணையால் என்னை ஆண்டனி எனக்குன் காட்சி தந்தருளிலை என்றார். இருள் நலி உலகில் ஏங்கியே பதைத்து இவ்வுடல் விடில் என்கதி என்னா. If I am going to live like this in this world, இருள் நலி உலகில் ஏங்கியே பதைத்து, always longing for something or so anxious, agitated. இப்படியே இந்த உடல் விடில், if I die, என் கதி என்ன? What will be my gati, O Lord? அருணனை காணாது அலருமோ கமலம் அருணனு கருணனாமன்னி. Only looking at the sun, the lotus will bloom. Is that not so? So you are the sun of all suns. So make my heart lotus to bloom. அருள்நனி சுரந்தங்கு அருவியாய் பெருகும் அருணமாமலையனும் அன்பே. This is the prayer to Arunachala. Bhagavan's Arunachala Padikam, the first verse. So if I am going to leave this body like this, without knowing anything, and chumma roaming around this world, what will be my gati, O Lord? So, see, na anupashyanti moodaha, moodaha. But pashyanti jnana chakshushaha. Who will see? Jnana chakshushaha. One who has got the eyes to see. The eye of knowledge. He alone sees. What is this eye of knowledge? Yetu punaha pramana janita jnana chakshushaha. Te yenam pashyanti. Pramana janita jnana chakshushaha means what? Pramana means the Vedas are the pramana, the means to know. So one who has understood the Upanishadic Vakya through the Guru's Upadesha, one who has contemplated about it, and one who developed that intuitive vision, that is called as Jnana Chakshu. He sees, he alone sees. What is Jnana Chakshu? Vivikta Drishtaha Ityartaha. One who is full of Viveka, discrimination, and one who has developed that subtle, intuitive vision. Jnana Chakshu, he alone will see. He is a very Brahma, Arya Vitya Gadayadu. I am there always. And to just focus our attention and to find out who am I. If we focus our attention, even though we may not understand what is what, but still you will find out what is what. I tell you again and again, the Guru is there in the heart as Atma, the self. And he is guiding and he will guide. We should never say, I don't understand. You should never say this. Or you should never think, I am all grahasthas, it's not our cup of tea. Never we should say this. We are blocking ourselves. We should never say, I don't understand. Try to understand. Try to experiment with it. Suddenly, idella romba kashtam. Why kashtam? Mattadalli evlo kashtappattu sailing uladhu. How much difficulty, My God, in the puja seyanuna evlo paadu. First you have to collect all the samagris, and then you have to prepare the naivedya, and this and the chandanata, charge. Evlo kashtappattu ellam seyanum puja serum. Why? God may give me something. How much we do in this world. But when it comes to the Adhyatma Vichara, we say, it's very difficult. It's very abstract, There is nothing concrete. I want something concrete. No, you experiment with it. So here, the seed of Atma Vichara is sown. See, this Jiva, though he lives with himself, he doesn't know himself. What, alas, what a irony. And one who has developed Jnana Chakshu by the grace of the Guru, by contemplating on the scriptures, he alone, Jnana Chakshuha Pashyanti, he alone sees. Yatanto yoginaschainam Pashyantyatmanyavastitham Yatanto pyakrutatmanaha Nainam pashyantyachetasah Yadanto yoginaschainam Pashyantyatmanyavasthitam Yatanto pyakrutatmanaha Nainam pashyantyachetasah Yatantaha means whom? Prayatnam kurvantaha. One who is really striving hard. Prayatnam kurvantaha. One who is striving. Yoginaha. Yoginaha means what? Samahita chitta. One who has controlled his senses and mind. One who has mastered his senses and mind. He is called as a yogi. Yoginaha cha yenam. Yenam means this prakritam atmanam. This self. Atmanam. Yenam means this prakritam atmanam. Pashyanti. He sees. Atmani avasthitam. Within himself. Atmani avasthitam. Atmani means in his own heart. Here Shankara says Buddhau. Why Buddhau? Because it reflects, it expresses only in the Vijnanamaya portion. So Shankara says in the Buddhau. But here in his own self means what? In his own heart. According to Bhagavan, it's a spiritual heart, he says. So, Pashyanti Atmani avasthita. Atmani means what? In him. He sees this self, pure self, in himself. Atmani avasthitam. Who sees? One who is striving. One who is disciplined and putting forward all his best efforts. And number one, who has mastered his senses and mind. Yoginaha. Such a person, he sees his own self within himself, in his own heart. Yenam means this Paramatma, this self, Pashyanti Atmani avasthitam, which is seated in the heart. He sees. But the others, Yatantaha api, even though they are striving, na yenam pashyanti, they don't see. Na pashyanti, they don't see. Why? Why they don't see? Akritatmanaha. Akritatmanaha means what? Asamskrutatmanaha. Shankara says, Asamskrutatmanaha. Tapasa indriya jayenacha dushcharita anuparata ashanta dharpatmanaha prayatnam kurvantaha api na yenam pashyanti. See, if you read Shankara, I tell you, what he says, asamskrutatmanaha means what? Even though he is striving, but still he is not yet refined. Paripakvam adelam. Paripakvam enna artham? Tapasa indriya jayena. He is not practicing austerity and he has not mastered his senses and mind. See, indriya jaya, that is very important. He is allowing his senses and mind to always run. So he is called asamskrutatmana. Innum pan padala, paripakvam adela. There is no pakva in him. And dushcharita anuparamaha. Dushcharita means he is not withdrawing from his evil conduct. Evil means what? Means not required conduct. Certain things we do it which is not required. Anupama means what? Anuparama means one who has not withdrawn from dushcharita, from bad conduct. See, he is a seeker, he is putting forward efforts, but there are other aspects, other traits which he has to give up, but he is refusing to give up. Ashantaha, He is always ashantaha, restless. Darpatmanaha. Darpatmanaha means what? Maradichkaram. Darpatmanaha. Still so much of ego, ahankara and mamata. Darpatmanaha. Prayatnam kurvantaha api. Such a person, even though he puts forward his effort, na pashyanti. He will not see. Why? Achetasaha. Avivekinaha he is. He doesn't have the discrimination. Even though he may look intelligent, but avivekinaha. Achetasaham avivekinaha. So Indriya Jaya is very important. The senses and the mind has to be under our control. And we have to follow the path of dharma. Dushcharita means what? Following the path of adharma. He is not withdrawing from it. See, people say, Swamiji, I am seeker only. But in business, you have to do certain things, which you cannot avoid. You have to tell lies. Little bit here and there. Little crookedness is required. That is how they justify. But in the world, even Shankara in one of his commentaries says, you cannot discount it totally. In the world, if you are functioning, it's very strange. But you cannot go on justifying and say, what can I do? What can I do? It is my business or it is my occupation. I cannot help. So you go on lying. You go on living in a different way and you want to come and meditate and realize means it's all conflicting, Sometimes people are very aware of these conflicts in them. So they either give up this kind of crooked behavior or they give up Adhyatma sadhana. They say, I think this is not for me. So I will live my ordinary life. I will go on. Apparam paathu ponalam. Or if they are very, very, ulla and neruppu patti eriyuduna, then they give up their everything and they pursue this wholeheartedly. So therefore, such kind of people, dushcharitat anuparama and ashantaha, therefore they are ashantaha. Very restless, confused. Because when you have so much of conflict, how can we live in this world? So ashant dharpatmanaha, and some people are dharpatmanaha. Peruma, ellathilum peruma. Every day I do 10 japamalas. One japamala is 108. 10 japamalas of this thing I do. I do 3 hours of meditation every day. I sit like a statue. Don't move. And I chant Bhagavad Gita every day. I have 18 chapters. Wonderful. Meaning what? You should do it as offering to the Lord. That is not to say, I am doing. And they give. And they say, I have given this, I have given that, I have done this, I have done that. Darpatmana. Such people, even though they are striving, they will not see Him. See, some people are foolish. Since they don't follow the right means of knowledge to understand. Chumma ishtathukku they think. Vicharam repela, they think all nonsense. You have to think according to the lines of the scriptures. Because it is atindriya vishaye vedaha pramanaha. You don't know what it is. Atindriya vishaya. So you have to listen to the scripture. Accordingly you have to discriminate. Accordingly you have to do vichara. You cannot do vichara whatever way you want. Because we don't know anything. Chumma paityakarama ediyadhu nenachittu irupom. Contemplation perla. That is not contemplation. See? So the right means we have to employ. Then he sees. Otherwise, he cannot. Now, he is concluding this topic. This jiva, even though he goes and comes, we are not able to see him. Only those who are masters of themselves and putting forward effort, they are able to see him. After saying that, here Shankara, in his commentary, he gives this introduction for the next verse, next topic actually. Yat padam sarvasya avabhasakamapi agni adityadikam jyotihi na avabhasayate. Though this truth, it illumines everything, but the sun or the moon cannot illumine this. That's what we have seen now. Yat praptaha cha mumukshuvaha punaha samsaraviman na nivartante. So one having attained this, the seeker will never come back. Yasya cha padasya upadibedena anuvidiyamana jiva gada akashadaya iva akashasya amshaha. And the jiva is nothing but an amsha of that Parabrahma Paramatma. What we are talking. Amsha means what? Because of ignorance, we see it as amsha. It's not actually amsha. Appears to be amsha. Tasya padasya, this jiva only, who is the Paramatma, he is only sarvatmatvam, sarva vyavaharas padatvam, cha vivakshuhu chaturbihi shlokaihi, vibhuti sankhepam aha Bhagavan. See how he is connecting. So this jiva, who is expressing in this body mind, in fact, he is the Paramatma and he alone is expressing everywhere. In the world also, in the sun, in the moon. So everything is his glory only, his vibhuti only. That we have seen in the 10th chapter and 11th chapter. Here in the next 4 verses, once again he is summarizing. In brief, he is going to explain. See, Tattvam Asi. How beautiful is he? The jiva who is enjoying or suffering here without understanding, he is actually what? The Paramatma. Who is Paramatma? He is a substratum of the whole universe. In fact, he is only appearing as all. When you see the sun, the moon, then you should remind yourself that he is the light of all lights. And not only that, everywhere you see him only. His power only expressing. His glory only. Yapashyati sapashyati. And the next 4 verses, this Krishna beautifully gives how he is the one who is sarvatmatvam, who is expressing in all the beings. Sarva vyavahara padatvam. In all the vyavahara also, in our day-to-day affairs also, without him nothing is. This he is trying to point out. So when you have this kind of a vision, you will not question whether there is God or not. You will not question whether there is something higher or not. You will not question. We don't understand what it is. That is why we question. Even the atheists, when they can see it this way, in this light, they also would be thinking. They may not accept, but they start thinking. So in the next 4 words, the same jiva, he as a Paramatma only is expressing as everything is revealed. Yada dityagadam tejaha jagat bhasayate kilam yachandramasi yachhagnau tattejo vidhi mamakam yada dityagatam tejaha jagat bhasayate kilam yachandramasi yachhagnau tattejo vidhi mamakam yad aditya gadam aditya ashrayam kim tat tejo deeptihi prakashaha. See, aditya gadam means whatever is expressing through the sun. Aditya gadam, tejaha, the effulgence, that light, whatever is expressing, and because of it, jagat bhasayate akilam, which illumines the whole of the world, means the light from the sun, jagat akilam bhasayate, it illuminates the whole world. So that tejaha, that light which is expressing through the sun, and yet chandramasi, that light which is expressing through the moon, yet agnav, through the fire, tattejaha, that light vidhi mamakam. Please understand. Vidhi means please understand, it is my own light. Mamakam, my own light. Meaning what? Without the light of consciousness, nothing is known. So even whatever you see in the world, everything is expression of that one consciousness. So what we know is only this ordinary light. The light from the sun, the moon, etc., the fire. He says, even that light to be known, you need this light of consciousness. So please understand, whatever is expressing as the light from the sun, from the moon, from the fire, I alone am expressing. Mamakam, tat tejaha, that effulgence, that light, tat tejaha vidhi mamakam, it is my own. Now a question is raised. Why only you talking about sun, moon, etc.? Even the same consciousness expressing is everything. Why don't you, why you only point out sun, moon, etc.? Here Shankara says, they are very effulgent, available for our perception readily. That is why we are pointing out. At least in that effulgence, you see my effulgence. See? So therefore, the same jiva, that is myself, is only expressing as the sun and the moon and the fire. And there is nothing other than myself. This is a vision. How are they connecting this, Swami, the individual and the total? Because the same knowledge is there to know everything. So therefore, here Shankara says, see, sometimes when the mirror is very dirty or it is very concave or convex, you cannot see the your own self clearly. Is that not so? But when the mirror is very clean and very smooth, then you can see clearly. So he says, the Surya and all, they are full of sattva. Therefore, the effulgence is more. Though the effulgence is other things also, but there because of his sattva nature, the effulgence is more. That is how he is arguing that effulgence, you please understand, my own effulgence only. The idea is, everything is perceived only through thoughts. Everything in this world is perceived only through thoughts. Otherwise, how else you can perceive? With the mind only you perceive. So mind means thoughts, flow of thoughts. So to know the thoughts, you need another light of consciousness. So whatever may be the thoughts, thought about the sun, thought about the moon, thought about anything, the light of consciousness is adharam. With that only you know. Therefore, whatever is known is nothing but that light only. That light of consciousness only. You understand? Therefore, whenever you see the sun or the moon, remember, tat tejaha vidhi mamakam. That tejaha, that effulgence is my own effulgence. And having said that, so starting from the sun, moon and the fire, now slowly he moves into this world. How beautifully. And then from the world, he slowly moves into the individual system inside. Amazing, the way he has. And then he goes into the core of the personality. So Bhagavan means from the universe, sun, the moon, then he is brought slowly into this world, the earth. And from the earth, he is drawn inside. How he is responsible for the digestion, etc. And then into oneself, still deeper. And this is so beautiful. That is why this 15th chapter, remarkable, so beautiful it is. Now after sun and the moon, now we will go further. Ghama vishyacha bhutani dharayam ahamojasa pushnami chaushadhi sarvaha somo bhutva rasatmakaha Ghama Vishyacha Bhutani Dharayamyaham Pushnami Chaushadhi Sarvaha Somo Bhutva Rasatmakaha. Gam means what? Prithvim, the earth. Avishya, pravishya, entering into the earth. Dharayami, I only support. Bhutani, the Jagat, the whole world, all the beings. How? Aham Ojasa, my own power. Balena. He says, Shankara says Balena. Ojasa means here Balena, with my own power. What is that power? What is that Balam? Kamaraga Vivarjitam. We have seen, na? Balam Balavatam Asmi Kamaraga. Here he is quoting that. Kamaraga Vivarjitam. That power which is devoid of desire and passion and attachment, that power I am. So, with my power, as if I enter into this world and I alone support everything here. All the beings and everything here. So, Gham means the world, earth. Gham, Avishya, entering into the world with my Ojasa. Ojasa means my power. Ojas means power. Balena, Bala. With my power, I support all the beings, the whole world here. Meaning what? Yena Gurvi Prithvi na adha patati na vidhiryate cha. What it means? It means because of his power, everything is moving in the right, orbit. Nothing is crumbling, collapsing. That's what he's saying. Adaha na patati. Suddenly, suppose one planet falls. When the earth is moving around, suddenly something goes wrong, like that, those helicopter or those, aeroplanes, suddenly they collapse, they dash. அது மாதிரி ஒரு நாளைக்கு எர்த்து கீழ் டொம்முன்னு விழுந்துச்சு வச்சுங்களேன், நம்மளாம் என்ன ஆகும், எங்கே விழுவுன்னே தெரியாது. Imagine where it will fall. We don't know where it will fall. Everything is space. Do you know what? கீழியும் ஸ்பேஸ் தான், மேலேயும் ஸ்பேஸ் தான். We think ஸ்பேஸ்னா மேலே தான் இருக்குன்னு. கீழியும் ஸ்பேஸ் தான். Where it will fall, we don't know. And if it collides, suppose ஏதோ காரணத்தினால it takes some other route and goes and collides, say with Venus or something. Or suppose sun decides, கொஞ்சம் எனக்கு ரெஸ்ட் வேணும். Say for few days I will rest. And then he withdraws his everything. So, it is said in the Upanishad, because of his power, everything is moving, everything is happening here according to a law. The law of the universe, the law of the being, law of the universe and the law of the being. So, therefore, here Shankara says, because of the power, and it's also said in the other Upanishads also. Yena dhyaurughra prithvicha dridha Taitriya Samhita, so dhatara prithvi ityadi. So it is said in the Upanishads also that he alone supports the whole world with his power. And it is said in another Upanishad, because of the fear of the Paramatma, all the other phenomenal forces are doing their work, doing their job properly, it seems. That is how it is expressed in the Upanishad. So that is why he said, Gham avishya cha bhutani dharayami aham ojasa, my own power. And not only that, pushnami cha aushadhi sarvaha, and I alone nourish all the plants, plant kingdom here, whatever we eat, the paddy, etc. How he nourishes? Here Shankara says, somo bhutva rasatmakaha. See, whether we appreciate this or not, but our Puranas, our Shastras appreciate this. They say Soma means the moon. The moon's light, it is full of nectarin rasatmakaha. So that enters into the crops, in the plants, and that becomes a nourishment, it seems. So with that rasatmakaha, with that rasa, with that nectarine sort of rasa from the moon, Soma, I alone enter into the plant kingdom, the crops, and I become the nourishment. So that nourishes our body, Annamaya, Sharira. See, we appreciate the need of the sunlight. We appreciate the need of the water and the minerals. But here our Shastra says, other than that, the moonlight is also very important. Somo bhutva, rasatmakaha, because that moonlight has got rasa, that amrita, which enters into the aushadhi. Aushadhi means not necessarily only herbs, all the plant kingdom, all the plants, and they become nourishment. The sattu engendhu varudhu? From where it is coming? Somo, rasatmakaha somaha. So this our great forefathers have recognized. So therefore here Sri Krishna says, I alone with my power enter into this world or the earth and keep everything in its place and keep everything going according to the law of the nature. And I alone as a moon shower all this amrita, rasatmakaha, and I alone become the nourishment in the aushadhi, in the plants. So we survive only by eating, by consuming. Is that not so? Okay, I consume, but if it is not digested, if it is not digested well, what will happen? Onnum prayojanam illa. You will not get energy, na? So I alone become the Jadaragni, and I alone digest. With the help of the prana apana, I alone digest. So I alone with my power enter into the earth and keep everything going, support everything. I alone enter into the crops, into the plant kingdom as nourishment and become nourishment for all the beings. And then in the next verse he is going to explain, I alone become the Jadaragni, Agni, the fire in the stomach, in the belly, which digests everything. So Jadaragni, what it is? Me alone is expressing as Jadaragni and digesting everything. And then further he says, who is expressing as knowledge? Who is expressing as memory? Smriti. Without smriti, memory, what are we? Vegetables, is that not so? Dementia, bayamma kekave. And not only that, entering into the heart, I am yourself. If you can have this kind of a vision of Paramatma, can you ever question the existence of Paramatma? How beautiful it is brought to our recognition. See, this jiva, that is me, who is here so preoccupied with my own life, enjoying or suffering, accumulating wealth, and running here, there. This jiva himself, if you understand who he is only expressing as the sun and the moon and our fire and everything, all the light, whatever you see. And he alone has come into this earth and supporting everything. And he alone has gone into the plants as nourishment. And he alone has gone into the system as the Jadaragni and digesting also. And he alone has entered inside and expressing as the knowledge, expressing as the memory, smriti. And apohanamcha, the absence also. See, everything is he. The presence and the absence, the knowledge and the ignorance, the smriti and the loss of smriti. And not only that, and entering into the heart, I am the very self. And this self alone is to be known from all the Vedas. He is going to conclude like that. See, today morning I got up very early. When I was reading it, அப்படியே ஒரு ரொம்ப பரமானந்த நிலை ஆயிடுச்சு அது. What a wonderful exposition of the Paramatma. It gives a complete picture of Paramatma. So Tvam Padam. When you know what is the Tvam Padam, that alone is a Tat Padam. Tat. And that Tat slowly is actually functioning everywhere. In the world outside. And whatever we consume as food And whatever helps us to digest, accumulate, assimilate that food, and whatever happens after that, and we are nothing but our own knowledge. As knowledge, and knowledge is there, but memory is not there. Means what is the use of that knowledge? As memory. See how amazing, we are able to recollect everything. இப்படி டக்குன்னு we are able to என்ன அற்புதம் பாருங்க இந்த system. Oh my God. And not only that, he is entered in the heart and he is the self. My own self. That is what he is saying in the next verse also. Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritaha Pranapana Samayuktaha Pachamyannam Chaturvidham Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritaha Pranapana Samayuktaha Pachamyannam Chaturvidham. I alone, aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva. Vaishwanaraha means that kind of Agni in the belly. Udarastaha Agnihi Bhutva. Udarastaha means in the belly, in the stomach, that is an Agni. That Agni is responsible for our digestion. That Agni Bhutva, having become that, entering into Praninam Deham Ashritaha. In these beings, Deham Ashritaha, entering into the Deha, the body of all these beings, I only express as the Jadaragni. That fire, digestive fire. It is called a digestive fire. And not only that, Pranavadam Deham Ashritaha Pravishtaha Pranapana Samayuktaha. And along with the Prana and Apana, our Prana and Apana, the breath, Prana and Apana we say na? With that Prana and Apana, Samayuktaha, Samyuktaha Pachami, Paktim Karomi, I only digest all these food also. Pachami, Chaturvidam, 4 types of food. How scientific, I was wondering what are the 4 types of food. And then he says, what are the 4 types of food? Here I have marked it. We all know it. There are certain food which we chew and eat. Masticate nu solranga. Am I right? Masticate. Nalla chew panni saapirudhu. Certain things like which is very solid food, like rice and all. We chew and eat. Certain things we swallow. The legium la kudupanga swallow, kasakkum. What? You swallow it. You swallow. And certain things you suck. You suck. No? Once I watched our Guruji eating mango. I got this thing, He will not cut the mango and eat like us. He has got a different method. And it is a very, very, very good method, it seems. We don't know. And the mom was he was drinking the juice as if he is drinking from the masa packet, And then I was wondering, he said, this is how it should be drunk, he asked. My God. It is sucked. And certain licked also. So these are 4 types of food we can eat, which can be nalla arachu saapradhu. See, it is said in the Yoga Shastra, we have to chew it very properly. Sometimes they say 32 times something, adalla romba kashtam, but at least you have to chew and eat. When you chew and eat, you cannot eat more. You know why? Why valika arambichirum. So you eat less. That is the idea. That is not the idea. When you chew, already it has become easy for the digestion. அதுவும் ஒரு விஷயம் நான் பார்த்துருக்கேன். நான் சூ பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சு ஒரு நாள் ட்ரை பண்ணி பார்த்தேன். சூ பண்ணி கொஞ்ச நேரத்தில் வாயெல்லாம் வலிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சிச்சு. போதுண்டா அந்த சூயிங் பிஸ்னஸ். That has to eat like that. One naturopathist, he told me, Swamiji, you have to eat like this. Then ஒரு வியாதி உங்களுக்கு வராதுன்னு சொன்னான். அப்போ ட்ரை பண்ணி பார்த்தேன் 2-3 நாள். Like we leave all the things, good things. And then licking also we do. Sucking and licking. So these are the 4 types of food we eat. And he says, I have entered into the bodies of all the praninam, dehamashritaha. And then I have become the jadaragni, the digestive fire. And pranapana samayuktaha pachami annam. And I digest all the food. So that is why it is chanted. It is, before eating. Why? We remember in this world what we are living, everything is in order because of the Paramatma's power. And the same Paramatma is a moon, and from the moon, the rasatmakaha, the nectar enters. Sudhamshu, Sudhakara, he is called as. So it enters into the plants and everything, and that is the real nourishment. That is what we are eating. And who is digesting? Jadaragni only is digesting. The food which is appearing in the world is nothing but essentially Paramatma only. What is food? Nothing. Nourishment is a food. Matalan chakka, nourishment is the real food. That nourishment is from Paramatma. And even if I eat this, it has to be digested properly and should become one with my body system. So who helps to digest? Paramatma, it is offered to the Agni. The nourishment, oblation is offered to the Agni, that is Jadaragni, and that is digested. So when I think like that, everything is Paramatma, without Paramatma I am nothing, then we are so grateful, and not only that, we recognize Paramatma in everything. விவசாயி சேத்துல காலை வைக்காட்டி நீ சோத்துல கையை வைக்க முடியாதுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அது ஒரு see, when the fellow who is doing agriculture, the farmer, he has to walk in that, chagadi என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க அதுக்கு, slush or whatever, and he has to plow and everything and put in all efforts, then we are comfortably eating the end product. And we say, I throw money and I get it. You throw money, can you get it? No. Somebody has to struggle. That is why you are eating. So this is gratitude. And without the sun, without the water, and without the real what is the nourishment actually? Without that, what can we eat? And even if we eat, some people, their prana shakti is very less. Digest ஆகும், வெளியில போகாது, excrete பண்ணும், அபான சக்தி இல்லை. So Lord is only expressing as the digestive power also, and even excretory power also is only expressing. That is how it is said. So everything is the same power functioning everywhere. Yap pashyati sab pashyati. So from the universe, Bhagavan has entered into the earth. From the earth, how he entered into the plant kingdom, nourishment. And then from there he entered into the praninam and Jadaragni, and how he is digesting the food and giving us the nourishment to function in the world outside. Without nourishment we can't even think, If you starve, let us say, for days together, you can't think. And now further, सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टः मत्तस्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यः वेदान्तकृत्वेदविदेव चाहम् सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टः मत्तस्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यः वेदान्तकृत्वेदविदेव चाहम् Sarvasya, in all the beings, Aham hridi sannivishtaha. I have entered everybody's heart. And I am alone expressing as the pure consciousness. Aham aham taya spurate hrid swayam. And because of that consciousness, there is knowledge about the world or about anything. Because I have got knowledge, and because there is a underlying conscious principle through all the experiences, the memory is possible. See, please understand that I will explain to you in the evening class. The memory is not possible without that underlying consciousness in and through all the experiences. So because of me, who is entered into the heart as a pure consciousness. Entered means not exactly entered, it's all a way of expressing. So entered into the heart in all beings, from me, mattaha, smritihi jnanaha, jnanam apohanam cha. From me alone flows the memory, jnanam, the knowledge, and apohanam cha, the memory loss or the loss of knowledge also. For even that, Paramatma is only illumining. And not only that, Vedaisya sarvair ahameva Vidya. Therefore, from all the Vedas, what you need to know? Ahameva Vidya. You have to know only myself, your own true self. சும்மா மாங்குன்னு வேதத்தை படித்து கண்மூடித்தனமாக வேதம் மடம்பாடம் பண்ணி வேதம் படித்து எப்போ பாரு ஏதோ ஒரு காரியங்களை செஞ்சு நான் பெரிய நினச்சது பிரயோஜனமே கிடையாது. வேதம் என்ன சொல்லுது? What is the Veda talking about? We should dive deep and find out. What is the essence of Veda? Veda is talking about only one thing, about the self. Vedaischa sarvair. From all the Vedas, what you have to know? Ahameva Vidyaha. That is only one thing worthy of knowing. Ahameva. That is why I like this stanza so much. Ahameva Vidyaha. Here when Krishna says Ahameva, it is not that Vasudeva Krishna. It is not the cowherd boy Krishna, one who played with Gopi. No. Aham. He is identifying with the Supreme Self and he says Ahameva Vidyaha. Because that Aham alone is expressing as the universe in the sun and the moon. The Aham alone has come into the world and it is supporting the world. The Aham alone has entered into the plants as nourishment. The Aham alone has entered into the body as Jadaragni and digesting. And that Aham alone is entered into the heart and expressing as the knowledge, expressing as the memory. And the Aham alone is everything. Therefore, from all the Vedas, Vedaisya sarvai Ahameva Vidyaha. And not only that, who has given this Veda? Only through Veda you can know this, because Atindriya Vishaya. It is not available for senses and mind. So what is the pramana? What is the means to know? Veda. Vedas are the pramana. But who has given this Veda? I alone have given this Veda also. Vedanta Kridu. I alone have given this Veda. Veda Vitu. And who is knowing it at the end of the day? Veda Vitu also myself only. After understanding the Vedas, when you know the self, who is knowing the self? The self only is knowing the self. So Veda Vitu also I only. See how he has brought everything in these 4-5 verses. So the climax it reaches saying Vedaisya sarvair ahameva Vedyaha. Because I alone express as the consciousness in the heart as I, and from me alone flows all the knowledge of the world about everything, and also the memory and the absence of it, and that alone is to be known. And even this you cannot know by yourself. You need the source book called as Vedas to know. And that Veda also given by me only. And after understanding the Vedas, after recognizing self, who knows the self? The self alone knows the self. Meaning what? Vedanta Kridu, Veda Vidyeva Aham. I am Veda Vit. I alone am the Veda Vit. So these words need more contemplation, more deliberation, because it is the heart of the 15th chapter. So this verse has to be memorized. In fact, the whole 15th chapter has to be memorized. That is why it is chanted. And this verse particularly. So this needs more deliberation. So today evening also, we will once again take this verse and then move on to the, see from the next verse onwards, he is going to take another subject matter, which is the same only about Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha and Purushottama. The next five verses, he is going to take about all these Kshara, Akshara Purusha and who is Purushottama. So with that he concludes. There are only 20 verses. So only 5 more verses to go, but let us see. We will see it again and then we will take up the Purushottama also. Maybe today we will be able to finish, or tomorrow we may need another 15-20 minutes. Om Purnamadha Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. See, to tell you the truth honestly, we have studied this in our ashram. Acharya taught us. So at that time it was making some sense. And then we have ourselves spoke about this in Sri Lanka very many times, this Gita. And in Chennai we spoke about this. But today morning something very unique happened when I studied. It was in front of me. Aha moment you say, na? Like that. The whole thing so beautifully brought out. And I am in awe about this 15th chapter. What a wonderful chapter. And how Bhagavan Shri Krishna has beautifully explained everything, you know. Okay.